Good morning. Wow. So many otters. Let me remove it first. They make an impression of the attendance, yes?
Vladimir, I can't hear you at all.
Yeah, your voice has become very, over the
Soft.
last 3-4 sessions.
Yes.
It's been very soft. I
Right?
have to keep my
soft.
volume at maximum.
Me
Okay.
Don't understand what's going on.
All right. Always tell me, please, because I see the green is here full. Is it still bad?
It's now better.
Yeah.
Right. Let me check with audio setting. Maybe it can be higher, of course. Is it better like this?
It's fine.
Fine, okay. I will put a low filter. All right. Okay, we have to finish this hymn, I guess. Let me project. Let me put this down a bit, microphone. All right, we were in the middle of that, at the end of that hymn of Apri Suktam. I'm projecting it. Let's start with mantra. Om Vang me manasi pratisthita mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edi vedasyama ani sthaha shrutam me ma prahasi anena dhitena horatran samdadhami ritam vadishyami satyam vadishyami tanmamavatu tadvaktaramavatu avatu mam avatu bhaktaram avatu bhaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So here we are, verse number 9, I think. Yes. Tannasturipam adhaposhayitnu devatvashtar virarana niyasva yato virach karmaniyach sudakshach yukta grava jayate devakamach. O divine maker of forms, who has the utter rapture, cast upon us that supreme transcendence, cause of our growth, from which is born in us the hero, ever active and with wise discernment, the seeker of the gods, who sets to work the stone of the wine pressing. O divine maker of forms, that is Tvashtar. Tvashtar is one of the Adityas in the Rig Veda, one of the archaic ancient gods, Tvashtri. They are associating him with carpenter, yes, Takshati, Tvashtri. Though Tvashtri has nothing to do with Taksh root. Yes, Tvash and Taksh, they are not similar, but somehow in the Vedic tradition it is associated with the same root. And because of that, he is the carpenter, and because of his particular function that he created the first ladle which could hold soma. Yes, the first ladle was the physical body, the animated matter, which could be spiritualized, or what do we call it? Not spiritualized, but animated, yeah, animated. So anima, the soul, has entered into the physical form and made it alive. So physical matter became animated, alive, growing, became food, eatable. So it started to carry energy in it, life energy. And that life energy is what we consume. But to get to the life energy, we have to destroy the carcass, the form around it, yes? That form has to be destroyed to extract the energy. That's why it is eatable, annam. Annam is food, but literally it is eatable. So there is an energy there. So that annam, first animated matter, the carrier of soma, was created by Tvashtar. After that, we spoke a bit before, yes. After that, there were three more brothers, Ribhus, who came one after the other. And they created the vessels for carrying soma in the vital, mental, and beyond supramental carrier of soma bodies, or what do you call them? Ladles, yeah. And Tvashtar became kind of an enemy to these Ribhus because he was surprised that he didn't continue his creation. He created only the physical carrier of soma, of the delight. But there were Ribhus who continued hastily to create other vessels of delight, yeah, in the vital, mental, and supramental level of bodies. And these are evolutionary bodies. We should not mistaken them for involutionary. These are bodies which will carry out the sacrifice to its utmost, to the top. So here it is, the divine maker of forms who has the utter rapture, Rarana, cast upon us the supreme siyasva, upon us cast that supreme transcendence, turipam, yeah? Tat turipam, nach, upon us. The cause of our growth, that which will poshayitnu, which will make us grow. Somehow, that's why Tvashtri is considered to be Aditya, one of the archaic representatives of Aditi. He brought the highest spirit into the physical form. The transcendental Ananda Soma was brought by him and Rather, he didn't bring it, but he prepared the form which could maintain the transcendental delight. Yato virach karmaniyach sudaksha, from which, yes, is born in us the hero, virach, active with a wise discernment. Karmaniyach, active, sudakshach, with perfect discernment. Yukta grava, gravas are the stones which are pressing soma, interestingly. So he has to be the one whose gravas are yuktas. So they are yoked. The two firmaments of the physical and mental being are yoked in him into one being. These two pressing stones by which he will be pressing and distilling the delight of existence for the divine. Devakamach, Sri Aurobindo translates as seeker of the gods, or the one who aspires for the divine. So he has to be born from that support of Tvashtar, who brings again the contact with the transcendental in the physical form. It's a physical form. That's why the child is to be born in us. Sri Aurobindo adds in us very interestingly. There is no in us here, but he implies this. Everybody translates that child to be born to us, and not child to be born in us, who is a hero, yes? O God Tvashtar, bestow upon us that transcendent power that causes our growth here, from which the hero is born in us. I am following Sri Aurobindo here. Ready to sacrifice with both stones, mental and physical beings. Perfect in discernment and aspiring for the divine. Okay, number 10. Vanaspate avasrajopa devan, Agni Havich, Shamita Sudayati, Se du hota satyataro yajati, Yatha devanam janimani Veda. O tree, Vanaspate, literally the Lord of delight, because tree is the carrier of Soma. That first delight, ambrosia, amrita, was born in the greenery. And Vanaspati is considered to be a tree or the delight, the Lord of the delight, of bliss. Vanaspati, O tree, release thy yield to the gods, means release the soma that yield to the divine powers, which are supposed to come down and to partake of this embodied delight in matter, and thus kind of manifest the divine in matter. Release thy yield to the gods. Fire, the achiever of works, Agni, Shamita, achiever of works, speeds the offering on its way, Sudayati, Havich offering, Sudayati, speeding up. So Soma has to be released from the Lord of the bliss here, from the greenery, and then it has to be speeded up on its way by Agni. It is he who does worship as the priest of the call. Seduhota satyataro yajati, the more true Satyatarah in his act, because he knows the births of the gods. Yatha devanam janimani veda. So, O Lord of bliss, bring down the delight that is for the gods, and Agni, the worker of the sacrifice, should speed up the offering made by us on its path of transformation. He indeed should sacrifice Agni, yes, for he is a true avatar, and he knows all the births of the gods. Interestingly, that Satyatarah Hotar was used. Satyatarah, truer Hotar, as if compared to someone. Or it could be translated as the truest. Sometimes comparative degree of adjectives is used also in the supreme, the highest degree, higher than the highest. So he is the higher, like we have the book of greater psychology. When we speak greater comparative, the association is in the mind that it is greater than any, than the greatest. It's interesting. When we don't compare with someone, with something, then comparative degree plays the role of the highest degree. Yeah? Greater psychologist means the greatest. So he is Satyatarah, he is the greatest, the truest Hota. He should sacrifice yajati. These are subjunctives in the Vedic language with long a in the basis. Otherwise, yajati, he sacrifices. Yajati, he should sacrifice. Sa id u hota satyatarah yajati yatha devanam janimani veda. As he knows all the births of the gods, he, the truest Hota, should take charge of the sacrifice. So we have two elements here, the Soma of the Lord of the delight, bliss, and which has to be released for the gods, and Agni, which is to speed up this offering of Soma forward, because he is the truest offerer, and he knows all the births of the gods. And the last verse, the last verse. Ayahi Agne Samidhano Arvang Indrena Devaich Saratham Turebihich Barhirna Astam Aditich Suputra Svaha Deva Amrita Madayantam. Come down to us, O fire, high kindled, in one chariot with Indra and swiftly journeying gods. Let Aditi, mother of mighty sons, sit on the sacred grass. Let the gods, the immortals, take rapture in Svaha. O flame divine, approach us directly, totally kindled with Indra and with powerful gods in one chariot. May Aditi take seat on our sacred grass with her perfect sons or powers. Svaha. May the immortal gods, intoxicated with luminous wine of Soma, rejoice here. Madayantam. Svaha is an exclamation used in the rituals to invoke the gods. Yeah? There are more exclamations, but two major ones is Svaha, to invoke the gods, Devayana for Swaha. And for Pitriyana, for Pitris is Svadha. Swaha and Svadha. Some of you may know it. So all of them should come in one chariot with swiftly gods. Devaich turebihich. For you Sanskrit students, it's interesting that Devaich is the form of classical Sanskrit, Turebhich of the Vedic. It could be Devebhich Turebhich, yes, used. That Devebhich is lost in classical Sanskrit. Yeah? Naraihi we have. And in the Veda it would be Narebhich. And you can see it in Turebhich here next. Yeah? Devaich Turebhich, two different forms are used in one line. Instrumental plural, yes? Right, so here we are. Do you have any questions, remarks? Should we read the whole hymn after? First,
Vladimir,
yes, go ahead.
I had one question in the 9th verse.
Right.
Where he says, cast upon us that supreme transcendence, from which is born in us the hero. So what is this cast? How can Twashtar cast upon us supreme transcendence? What does he mean by that?
I think it's a descent, descent of power, which supports the birth in us of the hero soul. We need the support to be born as heroes here. We are already in the Naras. We are the hero souls, heroic souls of man. But to be born, that means to become self-aware and become active. It is more is to be done. We all have psychic being, but who is aware of it all the time and who is actively engaged with it in life?
So a certain power has to descend. That's what he's asking for here, right? That a certain power descends and activates that.
Right. And Poshayitno, that which will nourish, which will feed the growth of this being in us.
Thank you.
It's interesting that the whole Veda is all about the descent. The Godheads have to descend and to support us here. Bring down to us the gods, the gods somewhere up in the upper hemisphere, and so Agni calling them, bringing them down.
Thank you.
Yes, that's it. We exhausted this hymn totally, yes. We looked into 3 rivers, spent the whole, we looked into 2 hotars, we read another hymn altogether with it, together with this one. For Avir Dhani, for 2 supporters of Avir. We looked into day and night, Ushasa, the 2 sisters, 2 dawns, yes. Yeah, quite a journey with one hymn. 4 or 5 sessions with short hymn. But this is a kind of fundamental hymn, Apri Suktam. All the gods are invoked in a particular fashion. If we compare all Apri Suktas, they will have very similar structure, even in the same order the gods are invoked and mentioned. it shows us that there was one Vedic tradition. And there is some hidden thing here, some secret transformative power in this Apri Suktam. But we need to have samit sumanah, bodhi asme. Yes, we need a flame again and a flame in us. If awake with thy truth of mind. So if that is not done, if the aspiration, the flame in us is not awakened, then this hymn is of little kind of help to us, I guess. Today I was thinking that how amazingly we want to always progress. Whatever we do, we want to do it better. Even if we do something which is not really supportive of our growth, but if it is the groove, which is showing the perfection in doing that, we still are on that path of betterment. And I was thinking, why are we always pushed to do things better and better? Why we are so unhappy when things are not getting better? And that is because of this flame, within nature, just constantly pushing forward. And we unknowingly moving with it forward, progressing. Whether we want it or not, we will be progressing. And it brings the delight. Mother says the only thing which brings the delight is the progress. True delight, happiness. Happiness comes from progress. Most probably that's why people in the miserable conditions, who live in the very bad conditions, can also feel the delight, because they can, make their situation better, even in that miserable state. There's something to be made better, to progress. If you have nothing at all, but with that nothing you will do something which will be better, will be something out of nothing. And that brings true delight. It's kind of interesting thought, why people are happy when they have nothing and live in miserable conditions, somewhere in concentration camp or in jail, have nothing. It's a miserable life. And still there's something which can be done better, with your body, with your mind, with thoughts. And that brings some kind of shadow of delight. That flame is still there. Sri Aurobindo somewhere says, if you are born into poor conditions, into poverty, and you are poor, you should try to enjoy life in its fullness in that condition. You should not try, you should not feel miserable as if you have to, change your poverty into riches and start robbing others and so on. You have to find the way to tap into the bliss. It is there in every condition. In the most simple conditions, there is a delight. And we know it actually somewhere, yes? When we have everything and extra, we see it doesn't bring the delight. We thought that extras will bring the delight. And they don't. There's something else needed.
Vladimir, I have a thought on verse number 10.
Mm.
The tree I was thinking, what relation does the tree have to fire?
Yeah, it burns.
Yeah, it burns, but it's very symbolic also, because it is the physical first, the tree with the soma that is burning in the fire, where the mantra is being chanted and it's offered to Agni. And the other, which is the outer, the inner is ourselves as the tree, with the aspiration and the fire of Agni reaching out. Therefore, we have to integrate the outside with the inside, the outer being and the inner being, bring it together in, and offer it as activation to Agni.
Yeah, we have to distill the delight. Yeah, soma. Soma has to be, the plant has to be crushed, and the juice has to be purified, and then it has to be distilled, also purified and distilled, and that quintessential delight, which we are so much looking for in this life, we have to offer to the higher powers in us, higher powers of consciousness. And by that we are growing in consciousness. That's the whole symbolism of this offering soma to Agni. Yeah? Agni is the aspiration in us, the true divine will in us, yeah? which is to be perfectly kindled by us. And for that we have to offer soma. And that soma is the most desirable drink for the gods also. They are very much interested in partaking of this delight in time and space. Soma is the sensual delight. It's a sensual enjoyment, which is very rare. For the gods, it's only here in the embodied state they can get it. It's a very unique enjoyment. It's like food. This is a quote for Kidashri, food. It's like a taste of different, different flavors. I was mentioning this before. There was a movie on angels came down and they were discussing what is attracting them to this physical kind of. And one of the angels fell and became a human being. And this says that the peanut butter, the peanut butter taste is heaven, is ambrosia. It's something, you can't imagine from that typal state in where the bliss is very different. And here you have that taste of different fruits, of different, it's amazing, mango, grapes. Grapes is ambrosia. It's that, liquor, that spirit. Interestingly, that they call it spirit also, because it intoxicates you with delight. From here, the soma is the wine of bliss, of ananda. It is in the taste. It is the most physical enjoyment, which we have to manifest. Everything has to be physically, totally enjoyed at the end of the sacrifice, yes? At the end of our journey and transformation of our physical nature, everything will be very tasteful. So here Kinshuk is smiling a bit because he likes the idea of enjoying life. And as long as we are kind of on this transition, we are trying to connect to the spirit, we are removing from us the self-satisfactions of senses, we are in quite a transitional state, yes? It's not yet the delight. We take away the delight from senses, physical delight, to get them connected to the spirit. But at the end, everything will be a delight. As Sri Aurobindo says, every touch will be the touch of Ananda. Every thought, every move, every taste, it will be a fullness of the divine Ananda. So there the rishis go. They want us to see that path, that we have to bring the higher powers of consciousness into action here and generate soma more and more for them to partake. And interestingly, once they partake of this soma, they bring more delight. They need more delight. And so it is more extracted from the physical. And the whole physical life becomes full of bliss, full of juice, juicy.
Vladimir, I have always had this imagery of, sugar cane, right? How sugar cane is chewed and chewed when. Okay, so I always have this feeling that here we do not really chew the sugar cane. What we get to chew are the absolute, something that has maybe a drop of juice or left in it. And we are not really in a position to get the entire juice out of the sugar cane. And all this process of getting gods in and is to make us extract proper sugar cane and offer it to them and take our share and whatever. So we are like ants, they get the thrown down crushed pieces and they feel very happy with it. But if we wanted, we could have the actual juicy sugar.
Yeah, fullness of,
The
yes, we don't
fullness of.
get. I was thinking again about this offering, why the amrita is and leftover. And I had some other ideas from here, that this leftover is what is offered by the divine to us, and that is possible only when our offering is actually accepted by the divine. So when we offer something like food, we have to feel that it is accepted, it is taken. Many times we offer and we don't feel anything. We just do it mechanically. Yes, I offer this. No. Okay, let's eat. This is not an offering. Yeah? The offering is when it is done, you feel that it is gone. It is taken. You just feel it. It's like womb, and it is there. It's done. And then you are empty. You don't rush to eat. You don't have any appetite, nothing. It's not an appetite. It doesn't create appetite, actually. If you offer the food, I mean. So there will be some kind of a moment where you will become aware of it. And then you will eat as the given by the divine to you. In this sense, of course, this part in a Christian tradition, they say, thank you for this food, as the divine gave it to us. But the first part of the offering, maybe it's included in this thank you, maybe. You are muted, Selby.
It's included in Mass, because when the elements of the bread and the wine before they're consecrated are offered, we are, as the congregation, supposed to add our offering so that it will be sacrificed as well. I had a couple thoughts, though, Vladimir. First of all, if our offering is too stingy, there won't be anything left over. In order for there to be leftover for us, we have to give a lot. We have to give full. Also, this, as usual, all these couple verses are just chock full of imagery that resonates with the Bible story and actually gives me a really different view of communion and all of that. Just briefly, first of all, the idea of a carpenter kind of rings really true for Christians. And then the tree is a symbol in the Garden of Eden. And then again, Jesus is crucified on a cross, but it's sometimes called the tree as well. And the tree has the sap, and I'm thinking about soma and a cup and the Last Supper. The Last Supper was actually a Passover Seder, which was a Passover Seder is commemorating when the angel of death passed over the houses of the Israelites because they took the blood of the lamb and spread it on the lintels. And then Christians say, well, that's a foreshadowing of Jesus. But what's interesting is that that blood, whether it be of a lamb or of Jesus or of us, is like the soma. That is the fluid, like the sap in the tree that contains the life. And in fact, I think in the Bible it says that the life is in the blood, and that's why in the Old Testament they would bleed the animals before they would eat the meat. But
right. It's like wine is the symbol of the blood, yes.
And so at the Last Supper, Jesus takes this, the idea of the spread blood that makes the angel of death pass over. He changes those symbols to say, this is my body, this is my blood. But if you think about soma, that's a whole different idea than just, I'm going to get crucified and so my blood's going to get shed. Anyway, it gave me a lot to think about.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, food. Well, it should be truly offered, I'm kind of thinking, rather than a lot. Because a lot or little, whatever one has, one offers it, There's the whole story by the mother. What is really generosity? You remember, yes? About half mango. When the beggar or the traveler came to the heart of the old lady and she didn't have anything at home. She was very poor. And she had half mango left. So half she ate and half was left for her to eat later because there was nothing to eat in the house. And the traveler was hungry. And she gave him this half mango and said, I'm sorry that I have only half. Mother says this is the highest expression of generosity. And then that traveler revealed its form, and it was Shiva, and he was very pleased. So half mango can be given truly, and the whole feast can be given egoistically, in my view.
When I said a lot, I didn't mean in quantity. I meant in
quality.
In percentage. If you have half a mango and you offer it, that's 100%.
Right. Yes, you're right. Okay. Yes, that's exactly what Mother says, 100%. Some people have a lot and they give little, and that little looks like a lot to others who have nothing. But for them, it is not counted the same way. Yeah, 100% is really a big thing. That's what we are here to learn. Yes, Kesh.
Yeah, Vladimir, I was just thinking, it need not always be food in the way we imagine it. Is it possible that these hymns themselves are a kind of food that we can offer right away and something that they can eat right away before all those grinding stones and all that comes into operation?
Oh, yeah,
It's
absolutely. You're right. Grinding stones are the mind and physical. In
yeah,
between heaven and earth, mental and physical, we have to generate the sacrifice. Vayu Pavamana is yajna. That is what is real sacrifice. The food is only an example. On the physical level, it is also there. Yes, nature just prints out from the spiritual to the physical the same relations. Yeah? There is nothing here in the physical which is not in coming from the spiritual. So even the format is the same in relations. You're absolutely right. And even more so, there is the whole hymn where Rishi says the one who thinks that he drank soma from the plants and he is mistaken because soma is the delight of existence which only the one who is wise knows what it is. Yes, so it's a delight which is different from just physical delight. Yeah? But symbolically, it is here in the plants, in our bodies, in our tissue. There is soma. Yeah? If it would be not soma, we would not be able to grow, progress, change. It is that carrier which makes everything possible and delight possible on the physical level, which at the end will be the delight in every way on the physical level. And we get it once in a while, drops here and there. Very little, but it is here and it is holding us tight to the embodied state. It doesn't want us to leave. We don't want to leave. We want to progress, to grow, to feed the flame. The
Is
flame
it
is
the
fed.
is it the luminous substance that is hidden in matter?
Which
You know,
substance? Sorry, I didn't hear.
the luminous substance, the vast.
Right. There is Vasu, the dweller, the luminous dweller within the substance, and there is the substance, yes, which is Soma. This Agni Shoma, yes, the dual, Agni and Soma, the water and the fire. And these are two major elements of all the creation. This is a very archaic paradigm, water and fire. Agni is born in the waters, in the ocean. Ocean is the Agni's home. Yeah? There is the upper ocean, luminous, supreme, supramental, transcendental ocean. And there is a subconscious, inconscient ocean. So these waters, we are within these waters. There is this liquidity, fluidity of substance. Substance is fluid. And once in a while it looks like it is hard, kind of frozen for a while, for a minute, for a second, for a century. And then it again flows.
Vladimir, what you just said there made me think about the fact that our bodies are mostly water, and yet our consciousness is fire.
Nice.
And that we contain both of these worlds in us. And I had just a little feeling about it inside me. Just
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah, it's a very, very good thing that you said, because when you said it, I felt it immediately also in the body.
Yeah, there's like a movement down inside somewhere.
You can even distinguish the energy and the fluidity of the interaction, how the fluidity is charged with energy and the other way around. Fluidity is feeding energy and energy is charging the fluidity, and here we are moving. That's why we can move. in this physical body. And you're right, there are 80% of water. It's all water. We will die if we don't drink 3 days. And if we don't eat 40 days, we will live. Water is everything for us. It's a miracle, water. And if you look at all the plants, they generated for us all the energy, yes? They accumulated energy over millions of years, and it turned into gas and oil and all those, soil we live on. It's not just soil. It is charged with soma. It is all living tissue. And even that oil, crude oil, which we are pumping from Earth, is nothing but trees. And those very trees which accumulated so much energy. And that energy we are now burning. Yeah? Fire is there in the tree. And not only that we all the plastics, everything we produce, look around us, cars, plastics, everything. Wood, wooden tables, it's all soma. So not only nature, but the products which we take from nature are also with this. Organic matter, it's an organic matter. Oil is organic matter. Even crystals, even diamonds are compressed, coal, which is becoming a diamond. It's amazing how everything is connected. Right? All right, so next time we will take next hymn. If there are no more questions, we can stop here for today. I will close with mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santo Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.